to everyone student. Today in this video we are going to see exercise 8.1 from chapter number 8 and the name of the chapter is comparing quantity. Class 7th from NCERT book. So dear student, before the pre-midterm exam we had already completed this exercise 8.1, 8.2 and 8.3. Isn't it? Do you remember that those videos? So in those videos myself on the camera I had explained you all these three exercises together. Now since I had already completed this exercise 8.1 to 8.3, so let's have just a revision or recalls the chapter number 8 comparing quantity, as this one is the most important chapter. So this is the second time I am going to explain the same exercise for the session, for the same session, isn't it? So here is exercise 8.1, question number 1. Dear student, before dealing with the exercise 8.1, you have to memorize all the formulas, whatever the formulas I had given you before the pre-midterm exam, isn't it? So what is the first way formula will be? The first formula will be about ratio. So what is a ratio is? Ratio is, that is comparing. What is ratio means? Ratio is comparing two quantities. Whatever the two quantities are there, that two quantities we are going to compare, and that two quantities must have same unit. What is ratio is? In a ratio we are going to compare the two quantities and those two quantities must have the same unit. So that are called ratio. In the same way we are going to deal with the proportion, that is A is to B proportion. A is to B, this is 4 dot, it's said to be as a proportion. C is to D, isn't it? So A is to B, that means this 2 dot is said to be as a ratio and it is read as is to. Then 4 dots are called as proportion and it means that it is equal to. Okay, so here it will become AD is equals to CB. This one is the product of extreme and this one is the product of mean. So here this formula we are getting. Sometime in the question it is asked to find out the product of mean and extreme. So in this, by using the proportion method we are going to find out the product of mean and extreme. Clear? Next, after this we are going to deal with the, in the exercise 8.2 we are going to do deal with the questions of cost price and selling price when profit and loss is given. So as we know that when cost price is greater than selling price, there will be a loss. So in the loss, SP minus CP, CP minus SP we are doing, and when SP is greater than CP, that means we are having a profit, and in that case selling price minus cost price we are going to do, isn't it? Similarly, here in this exercise 8.2 we are going to find about the profit percent and the loss percent. Do you remember all those things? And in the last exercise we are going to do, we are going to deal by finding the cost price when loss percent and profit percent is given, as well as while finding the selling price when loss percent and profit percent is given. So many formulas, I think total 15 formulas I had already given you. Please go through the video before midterm exam. Okay, then you will able to know. Now here we are going to deal with the exercise 8.1. So what is the first question we are having here? Here in this question it is said that you have to find the ratio of rupees 5 to 50 paise. So what is the ratio you have to find out? The ratio is rupees 5 to 50 paise. Okay, while telling you the formula of a ratio, and while I had already said you that the ratios, the two comparing quantity must have the same unit, isn't it? As we can see that here the quantities are having the different unit, so those we have to convert it into the same unit. So as we know that 1 rupees is equals to 100 paisa, that means 5 rupees will be equals to how much paisa? 5 into 100, so it will be equals to 500 paisa. Now after multiplying this, after converting this rupees into paisa, we can write it as 500 paise to 50 paise. Clear? Now we can see that both the quantities have the same ratio, hence we can write it in the form of a is to B, isn't it? that is A upon B. So 500 paisa upon 50 paisa. So as it have the same unit from the numerator and denominator will get cancelled. 0 0 from the numerator denominator will get cancelled. 5 ones are 5 and 5 tens are 50. So what is the 5 tens are 50, isn't it? So what is the answer coming? That is 10 upon 1. Hence the ratio of this 10 upon 1 can be written as 10:1. Clear everyone? In the same way we are going to do for the second part of the question. What is the second part of the question we are having? 15 kg to 210 gram. This is the question we are having, isn't it? So here we can see that the units are different. 15 kg to 210 gram, the units are different. We are going to convert the units into same units. So 1 kg is equals to how much gram we are having? 1000 gram we are having. So 15 kg is equals to 15 into 1000 gram. In order to convert this kg into 1000, we are going to multiply 15 with 1000. So it will become 15,000 gram. Clear everyone? Now 15,000 gram to 210 gram we are having. So 15,000 upon 210 gram. So gram will get cancelled from the numerator denominator. 0 0 from cancel from the numerator and denominator. 1500 will come in the table of 500 times, and 21 goes how many times? 7 times. So what is the ratio altogether we are having? The ratio we are having is 500:7. So this is the ratio for the B part of the question. Clear everyone? Now moving the C part of the question. What is the C part of the question we are having? 9 meter to 27 centimeter. So 9 meter to 27 centimeter. So again we can see that their units are different. So if their units are different, we have to convert into same unit. As we know that 1 meter is equals to 100 centimeter. So 9 meter is equals to 9 into 100. So that it will, this 9 will convert into 9. So that 9 meter convert into 9 meter will convert into 900 centimeters, isn't it? That's why we are going to multiply 9 with 100 centimeter. That's why. Now after converting it, we can write it 900 centimeter to 27 centimeter. Is it that so? Now their units are same. It can be written in the form of a fraction. So 900 centimeter upon 27 centimeter. So centimeter both are having the same unit will get cancelled. So here 27 comes in the table of 3 9 times, and here it will be 900 comes in the table of 300 times. Then again 3 times. So here it will be 100. So what is the answer we will get as? 100 upon 3. So this 100 upon 3 can be written in the form of ratio as 100:3. So the ratio will be 100:3. Moving towards the D part of the question, we can see that 30 days are given. How many days are given? 30 days. Okay. And 30 days, 2 hours it is given, 36 hours. And as we know that the units are different, so unit we have to convert it to the same unit, isn't it? So 1 day is equals to how many hours we are having, student? 1 day is equals to 24 hours we are having. Similarly, for 36 days, if we want to convert into hours, what we are going to do? We are going to multiply 36 into 20. Here it is 30 days it is said, na? What I am telling? 36. Okay, mistake is there. Dear student, here I forgot to say that here it is 30 days and 36 hours. So as we want to convert the days into hours, so we know that 1 day is equals to 24 hours we are having. So 30 days is equals to, so this day if we are going to convert this day into hours, so what we are going to do? We are going to multiply it by 24 hours, as 1 day is equals to 24 hours. So 30 days is equals to 30 into 24 hours. Now 30 into 24 will be equals to 720 hours, isn't it? Now we can see that 30 days is converted into 720 hours to how much are we are having? 36 hours. both are having the same unit, so 720 hours upon 36 hours. So hours will be get cancelled from the numerator and denominator, and here 36 ones are and 36 20s are 720. So what is the ratio in the form of fraction? We are having 20 upon 1. So while writing this, we will get 20:1 in the ratio form. So what is the ratio of 30 days to 36 hours is 20:1 is the ratio. Clear? Moving towards the second part of the question, we are having, in a computer lab there are 3 computers for 6 students. How many are there? 3 computers for 6 students. So here 3 computer for how many students we are having? We are having 6 students. Okay, that means one computer is for 2 students. That's why 2 computer is for 4 students. That hence 3 computer for 6 students will be there. Now here the question arises, how many computers will be needed for 24 students? That means 24 students के लिए कितने computers की ज़रूरत पड़ेगा? So as we know that one computer is shared by the 2 students, isn't it? Then 2 computers will be shared by 4 students, and in the same way 3 computers will be shared by the 6 students, isn't it? So 3 computer, how many students are there? 6 students are there. So one computer will be used by how many students? 6 divided by 3. So here 3 ones are, 3 twos are. So here we will get the answer as 2 upon 1, isn't it? So here, as the ratio is in the form of, here in the question it is asked about the number of computer it is asked. So the ratio will be just opposite will be done. As we get the answer as 2 upon 1, we will just need as 1 upon 2. As the number of computer is 3, how many students use the computer? That is 6 students are going to use, isn't it? So for one student, how many computer is required? That is 3 divided by 6, so it will become 1 by 2. Whatever we had done just before a second, that is also correct. जहाँ पर अभी हमने निकाला ना 2 upon 1, वो भी हमारा correct है. That is also correct. Okay, so don't get confused in that. So here, as we are having how many students? 24 students we are having. So that 24 students will be multiplied with half, because one computer is shared by half students. That's why. So here we will write as 12 students. Now I will explain you the same thing in the second method. That what I had told you just before few seconds before that. 3 computers is required by 6 students. That is correct. Now one students required how many computer? Or one computer is required by how many? One computer is needed by how many students? So that for that we are going to divide it, isn't it? So here what is the answer coming? This one is the coming. As we are having total number of students as 24, so 1 upon 24 will be multiplied with 2 upon 1, isn't it? So that will become how much? 12 1. So here it will become 1 by 12. While we are having the reciprocal of this number, we will get as 12. Because why we are going to do the reciprocal over here, student? Because we had taken as one computer, but in the question it is asked that one computer. समझ आया क्वेश्चन? अगर कन्फ्यूजन हो रहा है तो रेसिप्रोकेट की झंझट में मत पड़ो, सीधा यहाँ पर निकाल लो कि एक स्टूडेंट को कितने कंप्यूटर की ज़रूरत पड़ेगा. सो एक स्टूडेंट को कितने कंप्यूटर की ज़रूरत पड़ेगा? दैट इज़ 3 डिवाइडेड बाई 6, दैट इज़ 1 by 2. सो 24 स्टूडेंट्स को कितने कंप्यूटर की ज़रूरत पड़ेगा? तो 24 into 1 by 2, सो दैट इज़ 12. This is the direct way. So indirect way, since it is a ratio proportion, isn't it? So inverse proportion is also there. इन्वर्स प्रोपोर्शन भी है, जो आगे चैप्टर तुम लोग इस क्लास 8 में पढ़ोगे. इन्वर्स प्रोपोर्शन, उस प्रोपोर्शन के अकॉर्डिंग जो अभी मैंने करवाया है, जिसमें 6 डिवाइडेड बाई 3 इज इक्वल्स टू 2 upon 1 आ रहा था. फिर 24 1 upon 24 is multiplied by this number, so you are getting the answer as 1 upon 12. While doing the reciprocation of that number, you are also getting the answer same as 12, but this method is inverse method. इस मेथड को क्या बोलोगे? इन्वर्स मेथड, जो कि आपके क्लास 8th में है, अभी क्लास 7th में नहीं है. ओके, सो बेटर टू डू दिस डायरेक्ट मेथड. ना moving towards the next question, question number 3. We are having population of Rajasthan is 750 lakhs and population of UP is 1660 lakhs. Area of Rajasthan is equals to 6 lakhs 2 kilometers square, and the area of UP is, how much the area of UP is? Area of UP is 2 lakh kilometers square, isn't it? So how many peoples are there per kilometer square in both the state we are having? Which state is less populated? Now dear student, what we are going to do over here? We are going to find the question. So here population of Rajasthan is given as 3 lakh kilometer square area. So population of Rajasthan in 1 kilometer area. So 1 किलोमीटर एरिया का निकालने के लिए जो पॉपुलेशन है उसको डिवाइड करोगे 3 से. सो 750 विल बी डिवाइडेड विथ 3. सो यू विल गेट द आंसर एज 190 lakh, isn't it? Now population in Rajasthan 1 kilometer square area is how much? 1,90,000. Similarly for population of UP is given in the question as how much the population is given? 2 kilometer square is equals to 1660 lakh is given, isn't it? So in order to finding the UP area in 1 kilometer square, so how much it becomes? 1660 will be divided by 2. So what is the population of UP in 1 kilometer square is 830 lakh, and what is the population of Rajasthan in 1 kilometer square area is 190 lakh, isn't it? So we can see that 190 is a smaller number than 830 lakh, isn't it? Hence we can see that the population of which state is greater, that is Uttar Pradesh population is greater. So here is the question asked, how many people are there per kilometer square in both the states? So population of UP in 1 kilometer square is 1 kilometer square area is 830 lakh, and population of Rajasthan in 1 kilometer square area is 190 lakh. While when we are going to compare both the cities whose population is greater, that is Uttar Pradesh population is greater than the Rajasthan, but it is not asked in the question. Okay, whose population is greater, that is not asked. So it's a general information we are having. Now moving towards the second part of the question, which state is less populated? So dear student, which state is less populated? So while doing the comparison of both, we can say that Rajasthan, as it having the less population as 190 lakh compared to the population of Uttar Pradesh, so we can say that Rajasthan is less populated than Uttar Pradesh. Clear? So here our exercise 8.1 explanation is over. Okay, in the question number 2, don't get confused. The two method I have told you, one is the direct method, another is the inverse method, and that method is given in the class 8th, not in the class 7. So try to do the first method what is given on in your book. Okay, so for today, thank you everyone. Tomorrow we will have the exercise 8.2. Clear? Thank you.